Yo, Bucko, it's Zero coming back to you with another figure review, and today it's Imperial Monday once again, and yet again we will be looking at an older figure since none of my pre-orders came in yet. And I might as well get him out of the way. It's a Star Wars Black Series 40th anniversary, A New Hope Vader, and this is a really amazing figure. I mean, I've had Vaders before. I've had 3 3/4 Vaders and different Vaders over the years, but this is hands down one of my favorite Vader figures I've ever had. And I wanted to get a proper video of him done before my Empire Strikes Back Vader comes in. No idea where that is, by the way, because there's a chance that that will be my new favorite Vader, just judging by how I like the carbonized Vader. Anyways, this is the suit that's best known for being in A&H, but it also is in Rogue One, aka the best Vader scene in all of Star Wars. Anyways, I've had this guy for a while, and I bought him on sale for cheap, like 15 bucks, on card in the anniversary pack, which I don't understand why he was so cheap, but regardless, I have the box and the card back somewhere, but it's buried away, so I'm not going to look for it. I'm just going to throw some pictures up on screen for you. I believe this guy also came out in the red boxes as well. I believe that number was 43, but I could be wrong. Anyways, enough talking about the box, let's move on to this figure. And I'm just going to say this right now. This Vader figure, is the best one we have, well, besides the new Empire Strikes Back Vader. All the Vaders that came out previously were pretty garbage, not gonna lie. That's including the Emperor's Wrath Vader. Now, I collect Empire stuff, and pretty much every Imperial figure is at least decent in my book, but the former Vaders are no-go. They're no-go. Garbage. Not buying them. This was the first Vader I wanted, and this will be the oldest Vader that I own. Will not be buying any of these other ones. I will not be doing a review on any of the other ones. Only the carbonized Vader and the Empire Strikes Back Vader, and if they ever make Vaders in the future, I'll review them, but don't expect to see the older Vaders on this channel. And honestly, just because of how bad those figures were, it made me hesitant to even buy a Vader for a while from the Black Series. I mean, I can't really say I've ever had a Vader figure I've liked before this guy, but man, I finally caved in one day and said, screw it, it's 15 bucks. If it's a bad figure, I'll take an L. And then I saw the reviews of this guy, and they were like, yeah, it's pretty good. I was like, okay, I gotta have it. Everyone was liking this figure from the reviews that I saw. Got this figure in, and then I'm like, yeah, I can see why. And you can tell I really like this figure because he's in most of my reviews. He's in most of my reviews when we show him off next to other figures. And that's for good reason. He's a good figure, he's tall, he's bulky, it's a good Vader figure. I really like this. I think this is one of the best Vader figures. And it just sucks that this new one's coming out because this is going to get overshadowed by that. So I wanted to give him a good little send-off. And let's take a look at his accessories real quick. And he only comes with one. That is his lightsaber. And mine's slightly bent. Well, that's just because, yeah, mine's very slightly bent. But yeah. This is a really nice lightsaber though. Oh yeah, mine's only bent because I put it in wrong. I forgot that this is actually slanted. You see this little part right here? Yeah, if you don't put it in exactly right, it's gonna be bent. So there you go, it's straight. And this is probably one of my favorite lightsabers from the line. Like I said, at some point, my expectations for this figure were super low just because of how bad the other Vader figures were, but this blew my expectations out of the water. Hell, I used to have I don't know, it was like some kind of more expensive lightsaber replica toy It was one of the more expensive toys that lit up, and it was like almost movie accurate. And I had the Vader one, and this just brings back nostalgia to that. This is perfect, pretty damn perfect. This is one of the best lightsabers in the line by far. I mean, the detailing on that. Really love this lightsaber. Even though it's not my favorite lightsaber in canon, this is definitely one of my favorite Black Series lightsabers. Anyways, we're going to take a closer look at the figure now. And this figure, well, we're just going to start with the soft goods. There is cloth everywhere. I mean, there is capes for days. Look at how much cape you get. Cape, 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 cape for days. Cape. Yeah, there's so much cape here that when I first unboxed them, I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. It takes a while to play around with it, but it's cape. You can do whatever you want with it. I usually just tuck it back behind him. And honestly, it is a lot of cape. It's kind of too much to handle, but it's like the perfect amount too, because not enough cape looks bad, too much cape, I don't know. It's a lot of cape. It looks good. Then the cape also drapes down over his shoulder patch, which I'm pretty sure that's movie accurate. If not, it's at least accurate to Rogue One. So that's really cool. Then cape goes down to like the secondary cape robe thing. Not really sure what it is. That goes all the way around. And that's still really cool. I'm taking a closer look at the helmet. This helmet is different than the Empire Strikes Back helmet. This is one of the differences. This is one of the differences between the two, and the lights and belt is one of the differences between the two. I will show more differences off when I get the Empire Vader. But yeah, besides that, it's mostly the same, but we'll show that off when I get that Empire Vader, probably in a few weeks. If he doesn't come in within 2 weeks, I'm just gonna go buy one, because now they're on the shelves with the 40th anniversary card. So, but he's in stock, so whenever the other ones come in stock, then it'll be good. And then taking a look at his chest plate, it's the same chest plate, just with the cloth over it. And the boxes, like I said, the Empire box and the Return of the Jedi box has the blue. This one has the green. And I think this belt is different. I'm not sure though. And then this, his like crotch piece, it's one of those weird like foam rubber things, you know, that like you would have like in a punching bag or something. It's weird. It's a very different rubber piece from what we've seen from like, I don't think any other Black Series figure has a rubber piece like that. It's weird. It's almost like foamy, but it's not. I'm not gonna mess around with that. Getting down here, he has this little arm. I really like these armor pieces. Very cool. Right, and then his boots, and then it goes around, and then the armor ends back here, and then it goes into his boots. Man, I just really like this figure. It's a really good Vader. And then there's his arm. He has a lot of stuff going on. You could tell there's a lot of sculpt work here, like a lot. And if you just have it covered up by the capes, you're gonna miss a lot of it, but you do miss a lot of it. Like, usually you don't really see his feet that often because they're being covered up by his capes like this or something, or you like barely see it. But yeah, this is, man, I really love this figure. Alright, let's get into articulation real quick. Now, you saw my Carbonized Vader video. Go watch that if you haven't. This does not have good articulation in the head. They definitely fixed that on the Empire Vader. I mean, you don't need a ton of articulation anyways, because he's a helmet. He's not gonna, like, you can basically do like the what, basic like movements. Not a big deal. Shoulder pads, you get a decent amount of movements, but I think the other one had a butterfly joint. The new one, it's definitely missed that here, but you get decent range of movement. but definitely be careful when you move the shoulder pad up because it could get stuck on the rim here, so definitely be careful with that. Mine definitely looks like it got stuck. I didn't even notice that. Then he has a single jointed elbow, and then a hinge and swivel at the wrist. Same thing for the other side. Except this is, yeah, same thing for the other side. The hinge and swivel moves in and out on both hands. And then he has a, oh, it's a ball joint at the torso, but you can't really do anything with it because of how restricted it is with this. I think the other one gets more movement, so definitely better on the articulation around the newer one. His legs move out that far. He actually gets, yeah, you can't really go back on there. You can go forward all the way. And then you have the thigh swivels. And he has a double jointed knee, and he kicks his own ass, well, more of his back, but you get the point. Then going down, you have a hinge at the ankle and a forward-facing pin for rocker. Alright, and now it's time to pose this guy. Now let's show him off next to some other figures. Here he is next to the original Black Series Stormtrooper. And here he is next to the Mandalorian and Boba Fett. And here he is next to Cal Kestis. And here he is next to Darth Vader, the extraterrestrial from planet Vulcan, aka Tales from Space Marty McFly from Mecha. Go check out that review, it's really cool. And finally, here he is next to Luke Skywalker's Walker. And honestly, this is an amazing Vader. I can understand if you're waiting to get the Empire Strikes Back Vader, and I don't blame you, because that's such a great figure, but it's sad that this guy isn't going to be the main Vader anymore for a lot of people. I'm probably going to still show this guy off occasionally in some reviews, like I've been doing, but definitely not as much when the new Vader comes out. The new Vader is going to be probably the main Vader for me as well, but this guy's going to get some love every now and then, so that's why I'm doing the send-off video for him, kind of in a way. Man, it's kind of sad, because it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll split it off. Every Rogue One figure and a New Hope figure will have this Vader in their review. Every Empire and Return of the Jedi figure and so on will have the other guy. Honestly, this is an amazing figure. If you're wanting another Vader for the shelf, or you want a New Hope Vader, this is the way to go. Don't skip out on this guy. And honestly, if you've been skipping out on him, then don't wait too much longer. He's not going to stay cheap forever. Someone's going to buy him eventually, or they're going to re-release him, which honestly I don't blame you if you just waited for that. Anyways, as always, you can bring them in warm, or you can bring them cold. Thanks for watching, and good hunting.